Get busy living or get busy dying. What's up, guys? I'm Ken Nowicki. Welcome back to the Sharp Cut from the Iron Edge. And that quote, that's what we're talking about today, talking about this week. That's the thought I'm spewing this week to continue on from what I said last week. I used that quote when I was talking to a family member earlier, or actually technically last week, because they are in a situation right now where they don't really know what they want from the future. They're a little older, approaching retirement age, don't know if they want to retire just yet, but then they don't really know what they would do after retirement. You know, there was a case of, well, I have all these interests and I want to do these different things, but I can't do them right now because I'm so tired. I get up and I go to work and I come home and I'm exhausted. I go to bed and then do it all over again the next day. And I looked at this person and I said to them, I was like, hey, listen, like, if you had a plan for the next 20 years, like, are you good, like, financially? I said, yeah, I'm okay. And then my next question was, well, what the fuck are you waiting for then? And that's where the get busy living or get busy dying came in. Because I try to really use my experiences in life to help other people and maybe change the perspective of where they are at. And I said to this person, I was like, you know, my mom and dad had all these plans, grand plans. They were going to go on a Kenyan safari. They were going to go to New Zealand for a month. They were going to buy a little cottage in the small Scottish mountain village where we used to go we had our caravan, our travel trailer there from October through to April every year, and we'd go every weekend, pretty much. And we would hike and we'd ski and we'd do all that stuff. And they wanted to buy a little cottage in that town, little getaway. Actually, not a little getaway, but they would move there, and they would retire there and live the rest of their days there in the nature and all that sort of stuff. And it never came. My dad died at 54. He never got to retirement. And that's the example I used. That you can sit and you can plan and you can make all these, calculated risks to ensure that the future is going to be safe. That you can have money in the bank and you'll be able to do this when you retire and that when you retire and, blah, 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 blah. The one thing you can't fucking plan for is if that day's going to come. And I think that's what a lot of us miss. It's always, don't get me wrong, my wife and I are very guilty of this too. It's always, well, we'll do that next year. We'll do that in 6 months' time. We never got to do that this year. We'll do it sometime. Who the fuck's to say that that's a thing? And I really, really try to live my life in such a way that I feel fulfilled every day. Now, don't get me wrong. That isn't always the case, not even remotely. And we have lazy days. There's times where I just want to chill the fuck out and not do things. Yesterday, for example, you know what I did yesterday? Took the dog out for a walk. I watered the plants in our vegetable garden. I had something to eat. And I pretty much played with my kid all day. Between naps and playing and all that sort of stuff. And then made dinner, sat and chatted, went to bed. Nothing fancy, but it was fulfilled. I have a video on my phone now of doing raspberries on my son's belly and him screaming in laughter. That is fulfilling. That's living. So what I'm trying to say with this is make all these plans, make them for the future, plan for retirement, but don't fucking forget to live now. And if you are at that point where you can retire or you can do things, do them. Like, why wait? Why wait for life to be snatched from you? The whole quote of Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying. It's from Shawshank Redemption. And it's so powerful to me because I feel so many of us just get stuck in this daily rigmarole of life where we, have this responsibility to make an income, provide for family, all that sort of stuff. But we almost lose track of what life is and that how finite it is and how quickly it can go away and how much there is to see in the world. That same person, I said, why don't you go to Europe and like travel a little bit and stuff like that? Because they'd never been over there. And the response was, I don't know what I would do over there. And I'm like, wow, there's so much to do. Like you wouldn't even believe. And I try and think about myself, like, the stuff I did as a child or a teenager with vacationing in Europe, since we lived in Scotland, and the things I want to do with my kid. I'm like, I can't even remember probably half of the stuff I did. And it's insane to really delve into how much there is to see in the world. Yet so many of us get stuck on this daily grind, get stuck on this fucking merry-go-round of life, and we miss it all. And we're sitting there and we're just watching it all pass us by. You're riding the horse, and you're bouncing up and down, and you're just going in a fucking circle. Oh, there's whatever. Oh shit, I missed that last time. Miss. And you're just fucking, everything's a daze, everything's like blurred. And if you could just get off that ride, you'd see how amazing life really is. I think that's something I really don't, or I really take for granted at times, or I don't remember, with the fact that I am self-employed and I have the ability to do things and see things. And, that's why I'm saying I'm so guilty of this, because I have like the perfect setup to really travel and see these things and see life and adventure and all that sort of stuff. I still don't do it. So, am I really following that quote? I'm probably following the latter half more so than the start of it. Just don't forget to look outside your world at times. And whether that's you take a trip to Europe, whether it's you go to a different restaurant for dinner, you hike a different trail with the dog, whatever it may be, just get outside that bubble and experience something new. Like I saw this thing last year, 2 years ago. I think my wife was pregnant when I saw it. I can't remember properly. But it was basically saying that, hey, if you like try and do something new once a month with your kid or with, your partner or by yourself, no matter what, if you try and do something new once a month, by the end of the year, you'll have done 12 new things that you didn't do before, that you'd never tried before. And in 5 years, it'll be 60. And in 10 years, you'll have done 120. You'll have 120 little adventures that you would never have had otherwise. And it was really sort of like mindset shifting, where it's like, wow, if I just do these little things and take a day a month to do something outside my norm, I'm going to experience so much more than I normally would. So just think on it. Pick an adventure. That's my homework. That's my plea to you all for this episode, for this week. Find something this week to do that you've either never done before, not done in a long time, or just something that maybe your partner's not done with you. And just have that experience. Enjoy that moment and start living. Get busy living or get busy dying. It's your choice. And with that, catch you on the next one.